Today we're doing a little segment on acorns in the Fall While Edible series. You have a large variety of acorn trees, of oak trees that produce different kinds of acorns. Almost all acorns are edible. Typically the whiter the acorn, the less tannin is in it, so the less bitter it is. You can eat them just straight with what we call cow acorns, but I think really the real name for them is a white acorn or a swamp acorn. There's hardly any tannin, so you can just eat them straight. Of course, they're better if you roast them. This is a live oak. You can show them the tree. These large trees that you see in the south a lot around plantations, that's a live oak. They produce an acorn that's very light as well, that you can eat without processing. Your black acorns and your darker acorns are they're full of more tannin and they're very bitter to the taste, but you can process them with a blanching process, kind of like you do for mustard greens. Pretty much you just boil them or put them in hot water, soak for a while, dump it, do it again until you've bleached out all the tannin, and then you can roast them and they'll be sweet. This is what live oak acorns look like. The only thing with acorn is that you need to be careful and check them when you clean them, because unlike pecan and walnut and other hard-shelled nuts, worms and mildew tend to get in them a little easier than with other nuts. We can get one open to show you what it looks like. Acorn is good for you. They're high in amino acids. They're sweet to the taste, but they don't contain any sugar, and they're the best food that's known, proven to regulate blood sugar, so it's extremely good for diabetics. They were a staple in the Native American diet. They're high in starch. You can grind them up and make a meal. They preserve well. They're good for making Apache cakes, which I'll show you how to make in another video. See, this one is good. No worms. The red color in the darker acorns, the inside will be more red. That's because they have more tannin. That's actually what you process out. But these have so little, you don't really even need to. You can eat these as are. It's like the other ones you tried. They're not as bad.
Tastes like pecans.
Yep, tastes like a pecan.
This acorn is sprouted into a tree.
This tree is a swamp oak, and these are much sweeter and bigger than the other acorns that we saw.
I'll show you what these look like, you'll see. The difference. Okay, if you notice, you come in close, you can see the meat on these is a lot whiter than on the other ones. It's because there's less tannin in it. That's why these are sweeter. It's a much cleaner nut. There's more meat, so it's better for cooking. The problem is with this particular kind of tree, the growing cycle on it goes through 2 seasons, so they produce less than the others, and it takes longer to produce them. But what it does produce is a much better meat.
One tall, mature oak tree can produce almost 1,000 pounds of acorns in one growing season during normal weather conditions. Acorns are high in protein and fiber, but have very low sugar content and therefore help control blood sugar levels. They have a sweet and nutty aftertaste. Acorn meal may be used in bread, cake, and stew recipes, substituting acorn meal for approximately 1/4 of the flour. Since acorns contain natural sweetness, reduce any other sweetener in the recipe by 1/4. Acorns can be used in place of nuts in cookies, brownies, and bread recipes. They are a reliable source of carbohydrates and protein. They contain 6 vitamins, 8 minerals, and 18 amino acids. and they are lower in fat than most other nuts. Acorns contain significant amounts of pantothenic acid, vitamin A, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B6, calcium, copper, iron, manganese, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, zinc, folate, ash, omega-6, and many amino acids. Tannin can be removed from acorns by cold water flushing or hot water soaking. The brown water produced during hot water soaks has both antiseptic and antiviral properties. It can be used as a skin wash to ease the discomfort of skin rashes, burns, and small cuts. It can also be frozen into ice cubes, then rubbed onto poison ivy blisters. It soothes and heals the blisters and helps reduce the itching. It has been proven highly effective on about 95% of people, and the poison ivy is typically cured within 3 days. The cold ice helps to soothe the inflamed tissues. The brown water can be used in the process of animal hide tanning. Just soak the clean scraped animal hide in the water. The reason the bitter ingredient in acorns is called tannic acid or tannin is because it was originally used to tan animal hides.